Sup guys, Dragon Core 7 here, and welcome to a new card review, where I take a look at the card's art, effect, and how many decks that this card would be perfect in. Today I will be reviewing a card that's requested by Shadowchick, though she did requested a card some time ago, but this one is very special because she wants to know if this card will be good for her quote-unquote fairy deck. So, the card that she wants to know that will be good for her deck is number 10, Illumiknight. So, with no further ado, let's get this card review started. Let's check out its artwork. I do have to say number 10 Illumiknight, when you take a closer look to his face, he actually looks pretty creepy as hell. I mean, really creepy. Especially when you see it summoned in the freaking TV show. It just looks fucking creepy. Pretty much the face in general. But what I really liked about Illumiknight the most is actually the horse that he's riding on. The horse actually has better detail than the knight itself, which that's kind of weird. The horse kind of has like a silver metallic on its head and its four legs. Then we see kind of like a darkish blue metal on its shoulder blades and the behind of the horse. But I do like the green jewel that's actually like underneath the headpiece, which I thought that's pretty cool looking. And its background does look pretty shiny too. The only good quality picture I can get from this card is the secret rare version that you get from the tins. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the ultra rare version of it, sadly. But either way, I do like the background of it. It kind of has like a swirling vortex of shine right behind Illumiknight itself. And we see like a bit of blue and some sparkles, like little star-like sparkles in the background as well, which it does look pretty cool. And as usual, like any other number monster, it has the number 10 logo on its right shoulder pad, which that's pretty okay. I always like the number logos. They look pretty cool on every number monster out there. So overall, the artwork does look pretty nice, even though the knight looks fucking creepy as hell, but I think the best quality is the horse. The horse looks more badass and more intimidating than the knight. So when it comes to that, I'm giving number 10 Illumiknight's art a 4 out of 5. Alright, let's go straight to its effect. It needs 3 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach an exceed material from this card. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard and draw a card. I see this effect is very useful indeed. I mean, for example, what if you had like a shitty hand and you have 1 card that will not work with you and you have Illumiknight on the field with its 3 units still attached. So all you have to do is just detach 1 unit, discard that 1 shitty card and draw a new card. And hopefully, by a chance of luck, you'd be willing to get that card that you really needed. Which there are a lot of decks out there that really do evolve this effect, but I'll get straight to the deck choices whenever I get to it. And it does have an attack and defense of 2400, which that's pretty good, especially for a rank 4. Even though it's not as strong as number 39 Utopia, but it's still strong either way by attack and defense, which that's a good thing. Overall, its effect is pretty basic, just discard and draw a card, but it still works either way. Especially if you're in a tight spot with a really shitty hand, which it always works. So when it comes to its effect, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Alright, let's go straight to deck choices. In deck choices, judging by Illumiknight has the discard and draw effect, I will have to say the decks that best suit this card will have to be Exodia decks and Chaos decks, and let me explain. In Exodia decks, you need to keep drawing cards in order to get the 5 pieces into your hand. And Illumiknight pretty much best suits this because of its draw effect. And when it comes to Chaos decks pretty much involves getting light and dark monsters in your graveyard so you can remove them from play to special summon Chaos Sorcerer or Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. Which this also works with Chaos Dragon decks as well because, well, you need light and dark dragon monsters in the graveyard, just like Chaos decks do. But I'm not going to be talking about those decks. I'm only going to be talking about one certain type of deck. Because Shadowchick asked me, will number 10 Illumiknight be perfect for a fairy deck? That would be a yes and a no. A yes, because judging by this is a light attribute monster, you can get cards that pretty much do evolve light attributes, such as Luminous Spark, which increases its attack power, and all fairy monsters, such as Honest, can boost up its attack power if it's being attacked or is attacking a monster. And I will have to say no, because there are a lot of good fairy monsters, but some of them are not even come close to level 4 to even summoning up this thing. So here are some cards that I suggest to put into your fairy deck in order to summon number 10 Illumiknight. First is Honest, which is pretty obvious. He's a good monster for the deck because not only he's level 4 and has a good defense, But when Illumiknight is being attacked or is attacking, all you have to do is discard Honest in order to gain the attack of the monster that's being attacked or is attacking. Like if I attack Blue Eyes White Dragon, Illumiknight will be gaining 3,000 attack points, which that's freaking huge. Another good level 4 fairy monster is Nova Summoner. Once it gets destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a light fairy type monster with 15 or less attack from your deck and special summon a face up attack or defense. Which that's good for one thing because you could also be summoning Shining Angel, which that's another good level 4 fairy monster, which his effect is quite the exact opposite when it comes to Nova Summoner. Once it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a light monster with 15 or less attack and special summon it in an attack mode. Then you have to shuffle your deck, which I consider this card to be a good card too. Like I said, not only because it's level 4, but with its effect as well. I will also suggest putting this card in, this Sage of the Sky. Every time that a counter trap card is activated, you gain 1,000 light points, and if its Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, destroy one card your opponent controls. So if you have Sanctuary in the Sky on the field, not only you will be gaining 1,000 light points, but you'll be also destroying a monster or spell card that your opponent controls on the field, which that's really good. And with Sanctuary in the Sky, and if you have fairy monsters, you won't be taking any battle damage, which that's really, really good. And if you're really lucky enough to even come close of getting this card, I would suggest this name's Dark Witch as well. She's a really strong normal fairy type monster that is also level 4. And this name's Dark Witch is actually one of my favorite original level 4 monsters. And if you're looking for a light attribute monster that is not a fairy monster but is still good if you have 3 copies of it, I would suggest Daybreaker. And the spell card that I will also suggest for it is Photon Veil. With Photon Veil, just shuffle in 3 light monsters within your hand to the deck to search out Daybreaker. And once you special summon Daybreaker with an effect, you can summon another Daybreaker from your hand. And once the second Daybreaker summon again, summon the third one from your hand. Which I consider that a really good strategy. Which the funny thing is, they actually shown this strategy in the freaking Zexal cartoon when Kite summoned Illumiknight, believe it or not. If you need a good trap card that'll be good for the deck when it comes to Illumiknight, I would suggest Salmon Wishes. Because every time you draw a card, or cards in this case, you will be gaining 500 light points. So not only will you be discarding a card that's worthless in your hand and draw a new card, you'll be also gaining 500 light points in order to not give you life, but a good new additional card to your hand. So with that, I would have to say that this card can be good in a fairy deck. It just depends of how you use it. So take my advice wisely, Shadowchick, and you should do pretty fine. As for the other decks I suggest, it works as well like I said before. So with no further ado, when it comes to deck choices, I'm giving this card a 3.5 out of 5. Okay, time for the final results. Overall, I think number 10 Illumiknight's pretty cool. When it comes to art, effect, when it comes to deck choices, even though I didn't talk much of the other decks, but when it comes to the fairy deck, I think it will be okay. It depends on what you're going to put into the deck, that's what counts. So, take my advice wisely, Shadowchick, and I think you'll play this card in your fairy deck just fine. So when it comes to my overall score of number 10 Illumiknight, it gets a 4 out of 5. So there you have it, guys. That is my card review on number 10 Illumiknight. And thank you, Shadowchick, for allowing me to reveal this card for you. Link to her channel will be down in the description box down below. If you guys have any cards you want me to review for a future episode, just leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can do for a future episode. So remember, guys, comment, rate, subscribe. Until next time, later, Dragon Core 7, signing out.